The Raptors stayed patient at the beginning of free agency, and it looks like their patience has paid off as they signed Otto Porter Jr. to a 2-year deal. So in this video, we're going to address what impact the player can have on the team this season and what it means going forward. Let's get into it. What's going on, everybody? It's Jacob here, back with Amateur Hour Sports for another Toronto Raptors YouTube video. On this channel, I bring you the greatest coverage and analysis on the latest Toronto Raptors news, and I'm going to be doing it all throughout the offseason. So if you like what you see from today's video, then make sure you are subscribed to the channel. We are on a road to 10,000 subscribers. We're getting very close to the milestone, and you can help us get there. And if you find yourself enjoying this video along the way, be sure to drop a like. We want to hit 300 likes on today's video. Completely possible. Let's go get it. But what we want to talk about today, of course, the new player coming into the Raptors, Otto Porter Jr. has signed a 2-year deal with the Raptors off the back of getting a ring, winning a championship with the Golden State Warriors. And just a little bit of a spoiler here, I think this is a good pickup for the Raptors, but over the course of this video, we're going to address exactly what kind of a player Otto Porter Jr. is, what he can bring to the team, and why I think this might be a pretty good pickup for the Toronto Raptors. So yesterday, free agency begun. We signed Thaddeus and Chris Boucher to pretty good contracts altogether. That video is going to be coming out tomorrow. I actually had that video already prepared at the time of recording, but we're going to delay that to tomorrow because we need to get out this Otto Porter Jr. video. But we were kind of waiting for the Raptors to make a move because signing Boucher and Thaddeus Young freed up a non-taxpayer mid-level exception worth over $10 million. Nothing really happened with the Raptors, and we saw all these names going off the board that we thought might be good fits with the Raptors. So I was starting to get a little bit worried. I knew we were going to pick somebody up. I was starting to get a little bit worried about the caliber of the player that we were going to pick up because there was a really good opportunity to get like some good depth for this team. You've got your great starting five, Fred VanVleet, Gary Trent Jr., Scotty Barnes, OG Anunoby, Pascal Siakam. Your bench starting to look better with Achua, Boucher, and Young. Now you bring in the mid-level exception guy, and that guy being Otto Porter Jr., This looks like a pretty damn good team for the Toronto Raptors here. 2-year contract for Otto Porter Jr. The second year is a player option, so it's a 1 guaranteed year of having Otto Porter Jr. with the team, but I think it is going to be a good year for Otto Porter Jr. having him on the team because the Raptors, just on the surface, we really needed a shooter coming off the bench, and it's tough to find shooters who can play defense, tough to find shooters that really fit with what the Raptors want to do, but how about getting a shooter who still fits the mold of your typical Toronto Raptors player? Somebody who shoots above 35% from 3, but is also like 6'8", 6'9", with an above 7'1" wingspan. And Otto Porter Jr., if you're watching the NBA Finals, which I'm sure a lot of you were, he was starting some games at the 5 for the Warriors, so this fits perfectly for the Raptors in terms of the body that he has and the shooting that he has. But what sort of other stats is he going to bring to the Raptors? Well, last season, Otto Porter Jr. averaged above 8 points per game at 8.2, 1.5 assists. He's actually like a decent passer of the ball. The assists don't really do that justice. 5.7 rebounds on good shooting. We love all of these shooting stats here. Above 46% from the field, 37% shooting from 3, and above 80% from the line. And again, with these stats that are good, this is a forward, 6'8", with that 7'1" wingspan, does some good things on defense as well, average above 1 steal per game. This is a good pickup by the Toronto Raptors. Now, at the time of recording, don't have the exact price of this deal. I'm sure once this video is out, that price is going to be available. I didn't really have time to wait for it because I got to record this, I got to edit it, get this out and whatnot. So I'm assuming it's on that mid-level exception. I'm assuming it's around $10 million. And if we can get Otto Porter Jr. for 2 years, about $20 million, I think that is A-okay for me. Just assuming if he takes that player option, we'll see what happens over the course of the season. But nonetheless, a season of Otto Porter Jr. around $10 million, that works for me. That helps out our bench a lot. A lot. I think scoring still might be a little bit lacking for our bench, but with so many good scorers in the starting 5 already, you're gonna overlap some of those 5 into the bench. Like, it's not just gonna be like a lot of teams have a set starting 5 and then like a set bench lineup. That's not going to be the Raptors. The rotation is going to be very different to that. A lot of these scorers that are in the starting lineup are going to be on the bench unit as well, getting a lot of play time there. Like Scotty Barnes did really well playing with the bench unit, as did Gary Trent Jr. last year. And having the shooter to space the floor on the bench for the likes of Boucher, Achua, and Thaddeus Young is a great move by the Raptors. We were getting a little bit worried about who they're going to pick up. This is well worth the wait, in my opinion, here. Otto Porter Jr. brings talent. He's not living up to the 3rd overall pick that he was in 2013, but he's a different player now. We don't look at Otto Porter Jr. anymore as the guy who did not live up to that third overall pick. We're looking at Otto Porter Jr. now as somebody who fills a role within the team, and somebody who filled in a role so well that he just ended up winning an NBA championship. Now, I'm not trying to say that Otto Porter Jr. was, the catalyst behind the Warriors getting the 4th ring in like 8 years, but certainly a very important part to that puzzle, like a very important part to the overall system that the Warriors tried to produce over the course of playoffs. I mean, starting NBA Finals games, you're not a scrub starting in an NBA Finals. So Otto Porter Jr. brings these sort of things to the team, brings to any team that he's going to be a part of. And that team, and I'm very happy to say, is going to be the Toronto Raptors. Overall, Masai Ujiri has put together a pretty good team. He addressed one of the big areas of concerns that I had. I mean, the 3 areas of concern, in my opinion, coming into this offseason, even Masai Ujiri addressed these things specifically, were catch and shoot threat, rim protection, and a backup point guard. As far as rim protection goes, sure, we're probably not going to get like somebody to actually address that immediately, but drafting Christian Koloko at least gets us in the mindset that, yeah, we do need to have a center on this team. How much can we develop Christian Koloko for the future to be that rim protector for this team? That's a good start in that one. For a catch and shoot threat, we just added in Otto Porter Jr., who is a good outside threat. As I've said, he's going to add in a lot of floor space to the bench that desperately needed it. And as far as the backup point guard goes, I would have really liked to get somebody who will give Fred VanVleet a little bit of rest here, but the type of point guards that were available that we were going to be able to get, they weren't going to be anything special. So I'm starting to agree with people who are saying the backup point guard for this team is Scottie Barnes and Pascal Siakam. When Fred VanVleet is off the floor, those guys are going to be getting the point guard minutes, and I'm much more confident with the ball in those guys' hands than somebody we're bringing in on like the taxpayer mid-level exception, about $6 million. Like, we just weren't going to get somebody that talented in that position. We can now play 9 players in a rotation, and it's 9 players that we are very comfortable in putting on the court at all times. There's nobody coming on consistently, at least, that we're unhappy with. It seems like based on the roster that we have, there's nobody coming in that we're going to be unhappy with having to actually play him. Plus, we have Banton, who can sporadically get minutes. We're still, some people still holding out hope Malachi Flynn can still maybe sporadically get some minutes in that point guard position. Maybe he starts to play up to a role that we expect him to. But even if they don't, we saw Siakam, like when Fred VanVleet was out injured, Siakam was literally the point guard and did an exceptional job in that position. Scottie Barnes played as a point guard in college, 2 seasons ago, playing for Florida State. We drafted him as essentially, obviously a positionless type of power forward, but he played point guard as a 6th man for Florida State. So there's a lot to like about this signing here for the Raptors, and there's a lot to like about the team going forward. This is a team that just won 48 games last season, and we're looking to build off of it. It would be difficult to do so, but I'm really liking this 9-man that I just listed here, the 9-man unit that I listed. I am very much a fan of this, and this signing really does make it look a lot better. Like Achua, Boucher, Thad, it was like, okay, forwards, good players, but maybe something is missing, and Otto Porter Jr., in my opinion, addresses a lot of what was missing from the unit. So I'm going into this season pretty excited, and based on this signing, based on what we have here, I can't really expect any sort of trade to come. It looks like this team is very well built at the moment. We're obviously kind of in the sweepstakes for Kevin Durant. That's not really going to happen. There's all these OG Anunoby and Gary Trent Jr. trade rumors involving Ayton, Rudy Gobert. DeAndre Ayton is liking all these tweets associated with him going to the Raptors. I really don't think anything like that is going to happen. And, based on what we have here, I'm happy. I'm sure a lot of other Raptors fans are happy with the team that we have in place at the moment. And I'm sure the front office, like Masai Ujiri, Bobby Webster, those guys are going to be very comfortable with the team that we have in place at the moment. We're not a contender, and I don't really think any trade other than going to get KD makes us a true contender in the Eastern Conference. But this team is very well poised to take another step in the right direction, another very big step in the right direction this year. Last season was a transition phase where we just wanted to develop players, develop Scottie Barnes, get everybody, accustomed to playing together, get the core used to playing together. That's what we really wanted to do with the team last year. And, well, we ended up winning 48 freaking games. So this season, where we're really putting stress on getting the right pieces around the core, and the core having developed, and not just developed individually, developed as a team, all of these things working together, the Raptors are going into this season trying to best that 48 win total, and this is a good sign. No, it's not like a crazy signing, I understand that, but this is somebody that's going to give you, consistent points off the bench, like I would say 8 to 11 points off the bench. He's going to give you good shooting percentages, especially from three. That is the expectation with Otto Porter Jr. This was something the Raptors did not have last year and very sorely missed. Getting him this year is going to really boost this team, and I'm super excited to see what the Raptors can accomplish with this 9-man rotation. Again, we're not going to go and win the NBA championship next year, but we're going to have a very fun season, and it is a very good time right now to be a Raptors fan. Masai Ujiri continues to do great work. Bobby Webster continues to do great work. Dan Tolzman, everybody involved with this team continues to do great work. Let's see what happens this season. So what do you make of Otto Porter Jr. signing for the Toronto Raptors? Do you like the move? Do you not like it? Let's hear your thoughts and opinions in the comments down below, because that is it for me for today. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please, if you did enjoy, be sure to drop a like on the video. When you like this video, it lets YouTube know that people with similar interests to you may also enjoy this video, and therefore it is recommended to more people. It takes you a second to like the video, but it really does help me, and it really does help grow the channel, so I would really appreciate that. And make sure, if you are one of these new people, that you subscribe to Amateur Hour Sports. We're getting so close to 10,000 subscribers. Would really appreciate it if you subscribed, and in return, I'm giving you the greatest coverage and analysis on the latest Toronto Raptors news. Join the Amateur Hour Sports Discord with a link in the description to continue the conversation outside of the videos, and I'll see you again next time for another one.